Good morning, everyone. So, what are we working on today? Working on one of my more popular packages, which is the new car package. And what does that entail? So, that's basically a full protection with a ceramic coating on all exterior and interior surfaces. So, what we'll do is we'll go through a full wash, a decon, prep, ceramic coat exterior, ceramic coat interior. We'll get this completely protected for the client. This is a package that I offer to primarily new cars. It's kind of similar to what you would do for any car, but this one in particular, I offer it to clients who are looking to get their vehicle protected as soon as they receive the vehicle. It does make it a little easier if they drop it off as soon as they pick it up. So that way I can go through and deal with all the stuff and they can have it back once it's ready. Normally, what happens is the client will drop off their vehicle. I have gone to a client's home to do it there as well, but since I kind of hold on to the vehicle for about a day and a half, it just makes it easier if the vehicle is dropped off, so that way I can hold on to it and make sure the coating is cured with enough time before the client takes it out and drives it in the elements. So I'm going to break this video up into two parts. We're going to do an exterior version, interior version, just because I think that it might be too long of a video to put it in one. So let's get started. This vehicle is a Tesla Model 3 2025. The customer purchased it 2 days ago. We've had rain since, so I haven't really had a chance to do this yet. I've had to push the customer out a few days. The initial plan was for the customer to drop off the vehicle the day after she purchased it, but like I said, with the rain, it just didn't work out that way with the schedule. So we do have 1 day, which is today, of a break from the rain, and then we have another storm coming this way for the rest of the week. So this is our window to get this job done. The car will pretty much sit in the garage overnight, and so that should give it enough time to cure and be ready to hit the road the next day. This is a daily driver, so customer is very anxious to use this car and get it out there on the road. So we've got our coffee, and let's go take a look at the products we'll be using for this project. Oh, that's good. For this customer, we're going to be using DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coating. The reason for this is because the client really wants protection, but she also wants an enhanced level of gloss, which she'll get with the ceramic 5-year. For the glass, we'll be using C6 Hydro Glass. For soap, I'll show you the soap when we get to my truck. But we'll be using, for polishing, we'll be using the gold standard polish together with a yellow waffle, and then we will follow it up with a red jeweling pad. So we'll get that all together. For the interior, we'll be using DIY interior ceramic. So let's get this going. tires, we're using Kraken, of course, in our AK foamer, and we're doing that 4-2-1. Then after that, we're going to do a pre-wash and then a wash. Once we're done with the wash, we're going to do a decon, and then we'll do a rinse of the whole vehicle and get it ready to prep for polishing and coating. So for the pre-wash, we're going to be using our Cleen tool pre-wash TFR. We're going to be using that. It's 50 mils to 1,000 mil of water. So you can see that there. Sorry, it's a little dirty, but we're going to use it for regular soiling because it's not too bad. It's a new car, so it just got rained on. So we're going to do 50 mils in 100 mil water, and then we're going to use our new Quiver foam cannon. It'll be our first time using it, so we'll use that first, let that dwell, and as it says here, what you want to do is dilute the product as directed, apply the solution to the surface to be cleaned, and wait for it to react with the dirt and grime, usually 2 to 5 minutes, and then make sure you do not let it dry out. Rinse thoroughly with water. We're sitting at a pretty cloudy morning, so I can let it dwell a little longer than I would normally, because normally the sun would be beaming down on us, so I don't want to let it sit on for too long. But we're going to work with the clouds this morning and let it do its job for a little longer. Then we're going to follow it up with our InnovaCare S2 Foamy Pink. It is a neutral foamy shampoo with added enzymes. And it's got some great pictograms here, which makes it a little fun to look at, but easy to read. So the foam effect, I'm assuming the all blacked out dots mean that it's high foaming. Added enzymes, cleaning strength is 4 out of 5. It's a 6.0 on the pH scale, which makes it neutral. Safe for surfaces, surface security, and coating security. So if the vehicle did have a coating, we wouldn't have to worry about it breaking that down. So that's what we got here. So we're going to work with that. Made in Italy. It's pretty cool. So we'll work with that as our basic foam, and then in our bucket we'll use Apex. Apex is behind it, but we'll use Apex in the bucket, and then we will follow up with this is DIY's Iron Decon, and then we'll be using the Holy Clay by Auto Fiber. This was sent to me by Mr. Adrian from I Am Detailed AF. So if you haven't checked him out, make sure you check him out. He's got some great products at his store. He's located locally here in San Diego, so you can get your products to you pretty quickly. He's got Phoenix, he's got Auto Fiber, he's got Bio Bombs, bunch of other stuff. So check him out. He's an awesome guy. Love him. And let's get this started. right, guys, so let's talk about the products and tools I'm going to be using for this project. So first up, of course, the polishers. I'm going to be using my 6-inch polisher, my 3-inch polisher, and then the 5-inch rotary. What I'm going to be using them for is basically like, I guess, like a two-step, but it's not really a two-step. What I'm doing really is to just use these gold standard waffle pads to get rid of any kind of imperfection in the paint, remove any water spotting or any issues with the paint, just kind of on a surface level, nothing really too intense. It's not a paint correction. What we're doing really is just trying to prep the paint for ceramic coating, trying to help out and make it kind of unlock the gloss a little bit, and then follow it up with the red jeweling pad. And I use that on the rotary. This is kind of my favorite combo when it comes to doing my new car packages, because what it really does is it removes at least any of the imperfections, at least up to about 50%. Any swirls, any imperfections that usually come with a new car, from transport to bad washing techniques at the dealership. So it really just kind of improves the look of the paint, really makes it look glossy, and definitely removes a lot of the imperfections that are on there, like I said, from transport to dealership and the great washes that they do at the dealership. So we're going to be removing at least 50%, and that's basically what my goal is with every paint enhancement when it comes to the new car package. So we're going to be removing some swirls, get that paint looking really great, and then follow it up with the rotary so that way we can really unlock that little bit of gloss left and really make it look like glass when we're done. So that's what we're doing. We're going to be using gold standard polish DIY. We're using that for both the cutting part of it and also the finishing part. With both of the pads, we'll be using the same polish because I find that that works really well. It does a really great job of doing the minimal cutting that we're going to be using with the gold standard polish, with the gold standard waffle pad, but it also does a really great job of really making that paint pop and getting that last little bit of gloss at the end with the red jeweling pad. So that's what we're using for our polish. Then once we're done with that, we're going to be moving over to the panel prep part of the process. And that we're going to be using Pelias. And this, for me, I feel like is one of the best ones out there, really. If you're a detailer and you are looking for a really great paint prep, panel prep for your ceramic coating process, this is definitely it. Pelias panel prep is one of the best out there. So we'll be using this to get rid of anything left on the paint, any kind of residue from the polish. We'll be using this to kind of remove it and make sure that the paint is ready to accept that ceramic coating. Then ceramic coatings, we're going to be using DIY's 5-year. The reason why we're using the 5-year is because this client wanted not only to be protected, but she also really emphasized wanting it to look really glossy and the ease of cleaning. So that was really important for her. So that's why we chose the 5-year ceramic coating. And then for the glass, we're going to be using something that DIY sent me over while I was on the DIY tuber. They sent me out Hydro Glass with C6. And this right here is what I've heard, a really great product. This is my first time using it. So we'll see how great it works. And we're going to be using this on all of the glass surfaces. We're going to be using it for the windshield. The top glass that you see kind of behind me, the whole top is made of glass. If you haven't detailed a Tesla, it's all pretty much glass. So we're going to be using Hydro Glass for all of the glass surfaces. With every new car package, what I'm coating the body of the paint, I'm coating the trim, I'm coating the inside of the frunk, I'm coating the door jambs, body, wheels, wheel facings, and then obviously the glass. And then we're also going to be working on the interior. That will be a different video, and I'll show you the products and tools that we'll be using for that. But this is for the exterior, so let's get to work. All right, so what have we done so far? We have done a full decon wash. We've prepped the car for ceramic coating. We've cleaned up every single nook and cranny of this car. We polished it. We polished the glass. We polished the body of the paint. And then we followed up with some panel prep. Got rid of all of the residue. And then we applied the ceramic coating. I didn't get to record that part of it. I have a bunch of other videos and my battery was kind of dying, so I needed some time to charge it. I was able to record the rest of this process. So what we're going to do, and what I really wanted to record above the ceramic coating process, is the process for coating the glass. We're going to try this new product out, C6 Hydro Glass. From the videos that I've seen, the basic process is to polish it, panel prep it, apply the coating, let it wait there for about 15 minutes, I believe is the minimum. So we'll let it sit there for about 20 minutes while we start getting the interior dialed in, and then we'll come back and wipe it off and it'll be ready to go. It from what I've seen also is that it's rain ready, or it's ready to get wet in an hour. So this car's gonna sit here pretty much in the garage for a full day, so it's more than enough time to cure on there, and then we'll move on to the interior. So stay tuned for the glass coating, and then make sure you tune in for part 2 so you can see what we do on the interior. See you soon. All right, guys, so what are we going to use? We're going to use, as mentioned, C6 Hydro Glass. And what are we going to use to apply it? Well, we're going to use our auto fiber block together with our applicator. And this is my favorite one, other than the fact that it's green. It's got that barrier layer in between the two layers, so that way you can always use both sides if you want. But it really makes it, I guess for me, it's one of my favorite ones because I can use it on any surface. So I can either use it on the block, or if I want to use it kind of in a smaller area like trim or whatever, I can always just kind of manipulate it however I need it, and I can use it how I need it. So I'll be using it on the block for this one because that'll just make it a little easier. And it goes a little something like this. And that's what we'll be using to apply it. Now, because I can't reach the whole windshield, I'm going to do this in parts. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting good coverage on the whole glass. And from the videos I've seen, it looks like you can use up to 2 layers if you want to. And Ivan mentioned doing that if maybe you have an older glass, but since this is a new car, I should be able to do just fine with 1 layer. And then what I'll do is also put a little bit on the wipers. I saw Pan's video where he did that, and that helped with the little stuttering that happens sometimes with having your windshield coated. And I'll do that at the end because according to Pan's video, he just used a little bit. So I'll just use whatever's like left on my applicator so I can make sure that I don't put too much on there. I don't know if that has any effect on the wiper chatter, but I tend to be a little heavy-handed when it comes to stuff like this, so I think it's best if I just let it be the last thing I do. Okay, So we'll leave that like that for minimum of 15 minutes. I think I'm going to leave it for 20 just to be safe. The videos that I've seen shows like a haziness or kind of like a frosty look to it. And I guess that's the carriers that dry up on the surface once the coating has been set. So we're going to be looking for that. Once that's on there, we'll come back and we'll level it off. Then it's good to go. It is recommended that it doesn't get wet for an hour. Like I mentioned before, this car is going to sit here for the next, for the whole day. So it should have time to cure perfectly fine. So we'll come back when this is ready, 20 minutes, and then we'll wipe it off and see what it looks like. Alright, I don't know if you can see it. I guess in little areas you can. But that's what we'll be wiping off. And that's what it looks like after it's been sitting for about 20 minutes. You can really see it here on the side ones. That's what it looks like. Got the top there, but I don't think you can really see it. Oh, there it goes, yeah. Now you can see it. So that's what it looks like. And that's what we'll be removing. So let's get to it. What do you think, guys? Gonna be great once we get it out in the sun so you can really see, but I mean, look at that gloss. Oof. That is a pretty gloss. And now what I'll do is ceramic coat those wheel facings that we cleaned earlier. We'll ceramic coat these guys and then we'll pop them back in place. And then stay tuned for the interior. So we've got some coating here, and what we're gonna do is coat these door jambs.